Yo, this is Resa, and this video is showing how I'm creating one of my Put Yourself Anywhere postcards. This time the request was for Golden Gate Bridge. My steps are get a photo of the people or reference images, and draw the figures in usually a semi not fully realistic style. Then I get a photo, usually one that I've taken or for use stock photos of the location requested for, and then blend the figures into the location. The girl's shirt was checkered, so you may be wondering why I'm not using a bucket fill pattern. That's because clothing on a human figure does not go in one direction. The cloth follows the shape of the body, which is why I'm using curved and angled brushes here. We'll actually talk about a few of the shortcuts I use here. Tree selection, for example. I use this a lot, especially with the feathering edge to cut excess color from fills, which is another shortcut to color a large chunk of space that you'll see me doing with their pants, the guy's shirt, his hat, and her hair. I'll admit I'm not fond of when I'm just doing the plain coloring part, so I can't wait to get back into the shadows and highlights and contouring stuff. Her hair is suddenly orangish brownish because she has highlights, and I'm creating those highlights by putting the color on a separate layer and erasing so that patches of black, which is her actual hair, show up. Then I smudge it to create more natural hair flows. Smudging for hair takes a while, and you just have to figure out what works with the shape of the head, shape of the hairstyle, and sometimes even the wind. Light will also come into play because hair is such an absorber of light, but I'll get onto that later. Smudging, and more smudging. And now they're suddenly less orange. Yay! Shadows and highlights time, mostly with the dodge or burn tool. On their bodies at least. Light is the #1 factor that will create depth and 3D-ness in your paintings. First, I'm choosing a light source. Later on in the background, we'll show you that I've chosen the sunset light will be coming from the right. And because it's a sunset, this will create lots of contrasting shadows. Therefore, the girl's right side, the space between the girl and the guy, which goes inwards, and the pants will have deeper shadows. The guy's entire left side will be covered in first highlights, then reflections of the sunset's light. This is created mostly by using the dodge tool along whatever edges will reflect in that way, and by adjusting the contrast. I also find the smudge tool really useful in really getting down into the curves and shape of their clothing and body. What helps is if I'm imagining physically brushing or drawing actually onto a real human body with the real light source in person. And all these crazy lights are how I created these really reflective glasses. And now they go into the background, which is a real photo. I've had them on an alpha channel the entire time so that when I cut and paste them into the background, only they come out and not any extra from the white base image. The Golden Gate Bridge itself doesn't have the light source I want yet, but GIMP allows me to create various flare and light effects, so here's what's happening. This automatically creates the orangish sunsetty reflection I was talking about earlier on the figures. It's also important for that to happen so that they blend into the image as opposed to appearing like cut and paste. That's also the purpose of the shadows. If the image was further out, the shadows would actually be longer. Specific shadows is another shortcut. I duplicate the layer, select the blank space, invert the selection so that it's only on them, and fill the entire space with black before blurring the edges, transparenting it to 25%, and adjusting the shape of the shadow to where it would fit, and more importantly, where it would blend the figures which are drawn separately into the background, which is a real photo. And that's it. I hope you enjoyed this return of my videos. If you like this, give me a thumbs up, subscribe, share, and I've also joined a bunch of new social media, so check out the links in the box below.